All right, this is Brother Will, aka Quiet Storm, and we're back. This is week 35 of our 52-week challenge. Tonight, what I'm going to be talking about is the ins and the outs. All right, going to come from just kind of present a principle to you, real brief message today. Coming from, if you look at Genesis, chapter 1, verse 27. Says when God created them, he created them male and female. He created them. He blessed them and said, be fruitful and multiply. Right? What he did right there, God symbolically covered all of the ins and the outs. And that's not just, excuse me, like relationship as far as like man and woman or, male and female, but just everything. It's like that principle covered it all. Like you can look at any type of power source. Like when you plug in your TV, the sockets, you got a male and then you got a female part. If you like to listen to music, if you're going to plug in your headphones, you got a male adapter and a female adapter. And that's the only way that it's going to really produce, even in relationships with husband and wife, a man and woman. You got the male part and the female part, and that's the only way that you can produce a child. So it's more so like a principle that God put in place. But the way that I'm going to apply this spiritually today is when it comes to dreams, visions, and goals, and things like that, anything that God has placed into your heart, anything that he's given you the vision, the gifts and talents to do, right? So, the main point that I'm really making right now is that if God has given you a vision, if he's given you dreams, if he's given you instructions and things like that, even though you may not understand everything, but just know that God has covered all the ins and the outs, all the details and things that you don't know about that plan, about that vision. God has already covered it from the beginning. Like, he set that principle in place when he made male and female. I'm not talking about, necessarily man and woman. When he's talking about Adam and Eve, when he made male and female, he covered all the ins and the outs. The ins and outs, everything in between, all the details. A perfect example again is when he spoke to Jeremiah. He said, before you were in your mother's womb, I knew you and I had plans for you. I had plans to prosper you and not to harm you. So basically he's saying he already worked out the details. All you have to do is be spirit-led. I also tell you in the book of Psalms that the steps, the steps of a righteous man or a good man are ordered by God. So all you have to do is walk in those ordered steps. He's already taken care of the ins and the outs, all the details of that situation, right? Yeah. So that was that's in a nutshell. That's it. I can't really put it any plainer than that, and any clearer than that. Whatever it is that God has told you to do, whatever he put in your heart, whatever he gifted you to do, he's already made a plan for you. He said, before I was in your mother's womb, I knew you, and I had plans for you. But what happens is, a lot of times, we just want to create and follow our own plan instead of God's plan. And we don't even know all of the ins and the outs of what we need to do. We just kind of going off a whim, be like, okay, one day, okay, man, I'm going to go over here and do this. All right, if that don't work out, I'm going to run over here and I'm going to do that, without even knowing what the ins and outs are. So it's better to go ahead and trust your creator, the one who made you and the one that knew you before you were in your mother's womb, like they said, when you were a twinkle in your dad's eye, whatever. He knew you before then. So it's better to go ahead and trust him and walk in obedience to what he's leading and guiding you, instead of just kind of going against what he says and doing your own thing. All right, so again, this is Brother Will. This is week 35. God has taken care of all the ins and the outs. All right, God bless you. See you next week.